Are you sick of it yet?
No, it's great. I love it.
It's my morning theme song.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm going to do it at the end of August when we're not doing this every day. I'm like, I'll just have to play it just so I get in the mood to start my day.
When your alarm goes off, that's the music it's got to play.
It might have to.
Yes. Excellent.
So, all right. What are we talking about?
Day 9. It's day 9. Day 9. We've done 9 days worth of this.
We're not even halfway through.
Not at all. And we're still kind of keen.
Yeah. Although you will notice, like the monitors are gone. We're getting ready for changes in here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, you were saying. Well, let's talk about. We're going to talk about a piece of hardware in particular, but the general gist of it is audio recording at an event or a conference, maybe on the fly, maybe scheduled, but a quick way of getting it done.
But not what happens on the stage, because that's totally different.
That's totally different. Totally different requirements. You need proper microphones, proper system, proper everything, and that's quite often provided by somebody else anyway, so that's okay.
Yeah. So the things that we're going to talk about today would not be considered event audio, right? They're more.
No, it's not event audio, but it's it's almost like you're generating content for your own use, for your own business. You know, you're recording stuff, which could be an impromptu interview or a scheduled interview, or you just want to do a commentary while you're there.
Yeah, testimonials, daily event recaps, good morning, welcome to day 3 type stuff.
Exactly. There's some exciting stuff to be done.
So where we start?
So okay. So you are at a conference and you want to do some audio recording.
I'm there quite often.
You are indeed. And you've got the kit to do it with, which we'll get to. So we can break it down to the following: where you're going to record, what equipment you're going to use, the actual recording itself, and who you're going to talk to, who you're going to interview.
There you go. 4 things.
4 things. So we want to talk about the hardware in particular today. So let's whiz through some of these things I've just read out. Like best places to record. Where would you go?
So every event venue has that cool spot, right? So for example, we were just at the Philadelphia Convention Center for a client thing. We were there for a week. And at the Philadelphia Convention Center on level 2, right, you enter into where our exhibit hall was. But they've got this thing called the Overlook, which is these steps that go up to like this area where there are some chairs and things, but it overlooks level 2. Noise is considerably less up there when you're looking down, but you can see the hustle and bustle. That's the type of spot I would look for.
Okay. I've noticed in some of the events I've been to, there's like a big gap between where the exhibitors are and the back wall. And you can find a quiet space there sometimes as well. You can find a little nook or cranny somewhere, just somewhere to be nice and quiet.
Just not an empty meeting room. We were working with someone. We were there. We were working with someone, but it wasn't our event, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And they recorded all of their interviews in an empty meeting room, right? Seems logical. It is quiet. It is away from things. Yeah. But all meeting rooms are dull and beige. And the videos came out looking horrible. Well, they didn't white balance the camera, so it was funky. But
yeah.
People want content. People want exciting, right? And what's in the background, is exciting, right? Especially at an event, not this type of thing, sitting here talking, but at an event, people want to see what's going on. The hustle.
Well, this is it. Also, if you're in a room with no wall decorations, you're going to have a bit of problem with the audio quality anyway. A little bit of reverb going on. It's going to sound empty. It's not going to be that nice. I think it's kind of cool to actually do an interview with somebody or do some audio recording with or without video. And you can hear the hubbub going in the background, the noise of the event taking place. It's kind of like, I'm really there, as opposed to I've snuck off somewhere.
You know where I love to record? The exhibit hall in the morning before everyone shows up. because then you've got that really cool looking, like, exhibit floors are typically really cool looking, right? Because you have all the
Yeah.
booths, all that are the stands, and when it's in the morning, there's it's quiet, so you get that cool background effect, um, without the hustle. But I don't know, it's cool. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do. We're going to probably look at one item of this equipment, but we'll go through the equipment list quick. So you could use a wireless handheld microphone,
Yep,
which then connects to your recording device, which we'll get
like
to.
like a reporter on the street.
Exactly. You could you could use Synco style. I say Synco style. It's like you could use the wireless transmitter of audio, which goes to receiver, and the receiver then plugs into your recording device.
A lavalier.
Yep. Or you can use an omnidirectional microphone that sits in the middle of a table, but you will need a little bit quiet around you because it'll pick up everything.
Yep. Or you can go for the tried and true boom microphone or shotgun mic,
Or if you really want to give it a go, you can get something like this, right?
which a dedicated recorder.
Which is a dedicated Zoom H1N. Yeah,
Love them.
I mean, you could just stick it in somebody's face and just record their responses. And you can also, the Synco style recording devices can plug straight into it as well. Anyway, that comes on it to recording devices, what you could actually record the audio on. So you could do it directly to a laptop,
Yep.
and you could use something like Audacity to record it.
And now, if you're doing audio only, right? Because
Yes.
Audacity is audio only.
Yes, it is. Sorry, yes, it is
So more
audio,
of a
but
podcast.
it's got filters, and you can improve the quality. You can edit if you need to. So it's something you can do there and then if you're a laptop. You could do it to a tablet, which I have tested out. There are a lot of tablets out there. Again, it's probably going to be audio only.
Unless, well, because you've also got the Mevo style cameras. If you do it that way, I do believe they record to the tablet, but they might actually have on board like an SD card.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this thing's got a built-in SD card, which
Yeah.
I can plug a USB cable into it, and it becomes a storage device, or I can take the card out and slip it into the laptop. Or a dedicated digital audio recorder. I mean, the size of it is tiny, so you can easily slip that into a backpack.
So just to let you know, with the digital audio recorder, we will typically, we record if we're doing video, we have the camera, we record directly to the camera, right? But we also make a backup audio recording on like a Zoom, like you have there, only because the most important part of video is audio. So you just want a backup.
Yeah, having a backup in place is extremely important.
Yeah.
And of course, who are you going to talk to in your interviews and recordings and things?
Yeah, it never fails to amaze me how many conference and event people, production people, are always like, "Well, we don't have anything to talk about." It's like, yeah, you do. You got speakers, you got sponsors, you got attendees, you've got the people who are producing the show, you've got other industry experts who couldn't make it. I mean, there's a lot of people you can interview.
So you talk to your existing clients because they may turn up, and you can then talk to them, as you say, exhibitors and attendees. You could actually talk to your own members of staff.
Very, very, very underrated thing is talking to the staff.
Oh yeah.
If I love an event, let's say, I mean, I granted I'm an event guy, but like Comic-Con, right? That's a show I go to, right? I like that.
Yeah.
It's really cool for me to hear from the staff and what they do while they're planning it. And I forgot, DEF CON is the big hacker convention.
Yes, yeah.
But they did a documentary that's like 2 hours long where they kind of talk to staff people and all that. It's phenomenal.
It is, and you have a never-ending list of people to talk to. Really, it's just a matter of having a bit of imagination and just grabbing somebody.
Yeah, and I will say that that when you do this, right, when you go out and you decide you're going to capture video or audio of people, um, it always pays to do a lot of talking to people, because sometimes the people that you expect to be the ones that are bubbly and like, hey, turn out to be a dud when you stick a recorder in front of them,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
put a
yeah.
camera in their face. So make sure you capture just a lot. Um,
Well,
it makes your life
take the
easier editing.
yeah, take use the way photographers do it. They will take reels and reels and reels of photos, never-ending amount of photos, and they pick out the best ones, and that's why they look so good because they've only chosen the best ones out of their entire collection. Do the same thing with the content that you've recorded, whether audio or video, and just go right. This is really good. We'll have that, and you can glue things together and come up with something really good.
Yeah. So let's talk about why we're kind of here today, because we are going to talk about one piece of equipment. And again, we go back to the most important part of video is audio, and the most important part of any podcast or podcast style production is the audio.
Yes. So you can use something like a Zoom recorder that has built-in microphone. That's good, but you may still pick up some ambient noise that you don't want. So you need something that you could get the person you're talking to. They can wear a lapel microphone, lavalier or whatever you like to call it, just to pick up the sound of that person. And you could do that with one of our favorite little box of tricks, which is yeah. And for if in case this goes right on as a podcast audio only, we're talking about Synco. I mean, it's all very well to show it to screen and show it to camera, but Synco.
Yeah,
So
Synco microphones, and they're awesome. I absolutely love them. The reason I love them is they're inexpensive and they come in a 2-pack.
okay, this is turning out to be a show and tell now. So anyway, I've got. Let me dig some of this out. Okay, so
Well,
I have.
here's you get your stuff ready, but
All right, so
back
this
at the
is. So this is
we planned this out well.
oh, did we do well? Yes, we've done everything else apart from the show and tell bit. So there you go. One lavalier lapel. I can't say the word properly. Microphone. Which you would attach. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a couple of episodes ago. I actually wore one for the audio for the recording,
Yes.
and it worked really well. So it just attaches. That then attaches to a transmitter,
Which then goes to,
a receiver.
and because it's a 2-pack, you can actually do interviews.
Because you would wear one transmitter, your person you're speaking to would wear a transmitter. The receiver would then go into your recording device. I've checked it out with a laptop. Though on my laptop, the audio level was a bit down. I had to boost the volume quite high. With regard to the Zoom, it was really good.
Yeah. Although, so to do gain on these microphones, it is actually right on the microphone, so you can increase that. Just so people know, you can increase the volume directly
Yeah.
there.
Oh yes, yes.
You don't have to do it on camera or in post.
So on the transmitter side, the buttons on the side, there is a volume and a link connector. We also have the microphone. There's the USB for charging and a mute button.
Which is great if you have to make a run to the little boys' room.
Yes. Because if you've got the microphone running up on the inside of a shirt or something, and you don't really want to take it all off and put it all back on again, you can just mute.
Yes. But so at the beginning of COVID, right, when we were looking for stuff where we could do virtual type events and things like that, we had the Rode mics, which are basically the same thing. The Rode Wireless Goes. The biggest exception is they're Rode, so they're pricey, right? And so the Synco came along. That's where I discovered them. I know you discovered them in a different way, but I was looking for a two microphone.
Yeah.
And came across the Syncos, and for the price, they were under $200. I was like, I'll give it a go. No harm, no foul. If they don't work out, because again, the barrier to entry is very small. They worked so well. I now own 2 sets.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very
So
cool.
super easy to set up. You know what? I've never even had to fiddle with them. They just worked out of the box.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah.
So
And
this is the so this, just to finish off about the receiver, there is an out connector and headphones connector. So the out will go into your recording device, and the headphones means you can wear headphones so you can monitor what's being picked up.
yeah, which comes in really helpful, especially if you're recording, let's say to a phone where it doesn't have a second jack where you can monitor that audio, or if you're using a camera that doesn't allow you to easily connect headphones so that you can monitor the audio.
So to solve that, there's a particular problem I discovered which I had to solve, which is on my laptop. I've got the one audio socket, which is for the multi-barreled connectors. So you know the headphones with the built-in mic.
Yes, you have one plug.
Yeah, a long time ago there used to be two that you would plug in for mic and headphones. Now it's just the one. So if you're plugging in the Synco receiver, you don't have a way of listening. If you're doing it like we're doing it now, the receiver takes over the socket, so you can't hear the remote person at all.
So you wouldn't be able to hear me at all.
So I wouldn't. So what I've got instead,
That would make your
uh,
day better.
so I just picked up a little splitter cable, so I can plug into the microphone socket the receiver for the Synco receiver, and then separately headphones into the one socket.
And relative, it's a totally cheap solution, and that works.
Oh, this is like £2.50, £2.60 off eBay. Not eBay, Amazon. £2.60 off Amazon.
Yeah. So for
For
my
some reason it came with
American friends, about 350
yeah. For
or
some
about.
reason it came special delivery. I don't know. It was just weird. Came really fast.
Well, gotta love
Quicker
him.
than the other thing I ordered, but you know.
Yeah. So there are a lot of technical specs that we could go into, about latency and all kinds of crap. With these, I don't necessarily know that we need to dive into that. We can definitely put it in the show notes, right? So that people have an understanding of, it has a TRS cable for on-camera use and things like that. I don't think that's important here. I think what is important is these are very good microphones. They're very simple to use, and I've
Yeah.
actually never had an issue with one, with the exception of one time. I was planning to use these when I went live from my client's show floor the other day. When I think it was the first day we did this, or second day.
Yeah, it was first day.
But what was the issue?
You forgot to charge it up.
Exactly. So the only issue I've ever had with these microphones is the one time I forgot to charge them.
Yeah. Now, on my piece of kit, where is it? I'm so prepared for this. It's ridiculous. Where'd it go?
We spent 30 minutes before we went live, just sitting and chatting, and we could have been getting ready, just so everybody knows.
Oh, we could have done, but we didn't because we're useless. Anyway, it's a single USB on one end and a three
Oh, the
connector
charging
thingies on the other.
it does allow you
Oh,
to
here we
charge
go.
at
Here
one
it
time.
is. So yeah, you've got one USB socket there, and then you've got for the transmitter and the two receivers.
Yeah. Now,
But
so here's
you
some
could.
things I found with that.
Oh,
It
okay.
does not work into a battery.
It doesn't.
You have to charge one at a time when you go into a battery. So
Ah.
which it could just be the battery that I had. In fact, that is the battery.
Okay.
It did not. It for whatever reason, the second I pulled two of them off, it charged just fine. So but they charge really fast, so it wasn't a big deal to me. I just pulled it
Yeah,
off.
yeah. I should check it. I've got a battery, so I'll check
The
that.
other thing is, if you are in an event environment, and you are at a convention center, and there are multiple rooms of wireless audio going, you just have to make sure that you test and make sure that audio, those wireless signals, are not interfering with these wireless signals. I
Yeah.
haven't had it happen yet, but at some point I'm going to run into someone who's where that wireless signal is going to interfere. I have
Yeah,
that, but but people should know that that is a possibility.
it is. I'm not entirely sure what the range is like, but be sensible about it. If you're going to do a video at the same time anyway, then you don't want the person too far away.
They go about 150 feet. So we
Okay.
actually did. So we did so for a virtual conference. Um, we were supposed to be live in Chicago. I had to go virtual. So what we did was we took the host or the MC, if you will, and we went out on the streets of Chicago, and he filmed like, "Hey, here's where we should be," um,
Yeah.
and he was across the street. I had the camera, right? I was on this side of the street. He was across the street and down the block, and it did just fine.
Oh, cool.
So the range is pretty good. Now,
That is
throw in
actually
the
pretty good.
wall,
Yeah.
yeah, and things like that, and yeah, it's gonna get a little hinky, but
Yeah.
for the most part, they go the distance you need them to go.
Yeah. So as I like to think is these things are great for like I used to term quick and dirty, but they're not. They're actually great for impromptu recording or scheduled recording, but you don't want to take a load of kit with you at the time. I mean, my little kit, as you saw, is just in a small little tiny bag,
Yeah,
and it goes.
I've got that Canon AX50 camera, those 2 Synco microphones, and bunch of cables. I keep them in a camera bag, and literally, if I need to go somewhere, I just grab the bag and walk out the door.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a professional out there who's eager to, at some point, will leave a comment saying, "Yes, but you need a mixer to get all the sound balances right." And yeah, you probably do, but I mean, these receivers, transmit receivers, do right. So that the receiver has like it's got a volume controller, but that's the volume that is sent to the recording device. The two transmitters also have volume control, which you can put up and down. It depends on how much you're going to spend and what you're willing to carry and how much space it takes up.
And also, done is better than perfect, right?
Well,
So
yeah,
a lot of organizations, listen to the pro, who's not wrong. They're not wrong, right? You do need that stuff, but do you to start? Probably not. So
no,
many organizations will want to go onto the show floor and record attendees or exhibitors and things like that. They talk to the AV company. The AV company wants to, have a camera operator and a sound guy and like 50 different people. And all of a sudden, these simple little interviews now cost 10K, 15K, something crazy.
yeah,
Whereas just to get those little 30-second sound bites, this is fine. And if you're not doing anything now, it is 1,000 times better than what you're currently doing.
yeah. It's better to try it out than not do it at all. So,
Yeah, and it is one of those things, right? If you find that your audience responds to it, if all of a sudden you start putting up, speakers are great, right? You know, have speakers share little 30-second snips of knowledge, which then you can post throughout the year, right? You don't necessarily have to share it that day. If
yeah,
you find that the audience reacts to that, okay, up the game.
exactly. So I can imagine it would be really cool to do. So the speaker's just done their thing and they've spoken for half an hour or something. They come off stage and you just simply say, "Quick, come over here. I just want to do a quick audio
It's
recording for my podcast. How did you find speaking today? What do you think of the audience? Did you enjoy yourself?" And those kind of questions centered on the speaker. And because that person is a speaker, they're going to want to talk.
Oh, yeah. And well,
Yeah.
and they'll be hyped up from just coming off the stage.
Yeah.
So they'll be
So
animated.
they'll probably be like the first people you should look out for when it comes to doing these things.
Yeah. Well, I love that we concentrate on the impromptu stuff, but there's no reason why you couldn't say, "Hey, when you're done, come down here and stand here. We're going to interview you."
Yeah. I mean, if you're not attending that conference as a part of the production team or an exhibitor, for example, you might go. I've been into an event as press, and there has been a press area, a little area just off to the side, tables and chairs. Unfortunately, when I went there, they took the coffee machine away. God knows why they did that. but it is a dedicated little quiet space to go to.
You can't work without coffee, man.
I'm starting to find that now. It's weird.
Anyway, so
But that's cold.
let's talk about the cost, right? So all in with all the stuff, the two transmitters, the receiver, all the little doodads that go with it, and
Yeah.
that lovely little case. These things are in the US from B&H Photo, they're $169.
I think I paid my kit was about £160 on Amazon.
Yeah, which that's probably about right. That's probably about
And
the conversion.
you might some people might think, well, I'm only just starting out. That sounds a bit expensive. But the thing is, it's even when you think you want to up your game, they're still going to be useful. They've
Oh, yeah.
got they can be used for quite a long time. So it is a reasonable investment.
It is. And you will find uses for them that you never imagined.
Yeah.
You can use them on your Zoom calls if you wanted. There's no reason why you can't.
Well, this one particular case I could think of is that if you are like the space behind me, right? If I was doing a presentation with a whiteboard,
You could
right,
stand up and
I can stand up there wearing one of these transmitters, and you would hear me really, really clearly, as if you're hearing me now, even though I'm some distance away from the video camera.
yeah. So all in, I say, or all together, I think that the Syncos are great. They're a decent investment for anyone who is looking to get into the interview, impromptu interview, those types of things. This is, again, not what you're going to have someone on stage. That is not what this is for. That is mission critical audio that cannot fail. So you're going to want to use, your AV company's equipment, which that's a whole different ballgame, right? Those are much more powerful. They're much
Yeah,
more sensitive. They are meant to be in that environment. But if you are
yeah,
just doing attendees and exhibitors, these work perfectly.
yeah. If you're running a booth, for example, and you want someone, and you just beckon somebody over, just quickly clip one of these things onto them, and you go for it.
So there you go. I think we wrapped up day 9.
Day 9, really, really good. So yeah, that's Synco, and that's scheduled impromptu portable audio recording.
So where
Really cool.
can people find us, Bob?
Well, I'm not giving out my home address.
But they can go to bullet-list.com.
Oh yes, they can indeed. There's Facebook. When we so if you want to know when we're going live next and what time, well, it's just fairly obvious. Same time tomorrow. But hey ho.
For the month of August, anyway, we're going live every
Yeah,
single.
that's all right through August. This come and visit Event Planner News Facebook page, the Planner Wire Facebook page, and the Bullet List group. For the Bullet List group, you will have to apply to get in, but we're admins. We'll let you in, no problem.
For the most part.
Well, it depends what size of bank transfer you make, but anyway, that's not a problem. I'm joking. No, we don't take money.
All right. On that note, see everybody tomorrow.
All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks for dropping by.